Introverts, how did you meet your girlfriend? Met my boyfriend, gay introvert here, online. He's introvert too. First date felt awkward as we were both quiet and I felt like I needed to fill the silence, but as I relaxed we hit it off. 3 years on, it's wonderful puttering about the house doing introvert things in each other's company. Online. At work. She's very persistent, and finally convinced me to go see a movie together. It's a good place for introverts, really. It's dark, you can only see your so and the person sitting next to you. Accidental popcorn grab, hand touch here and there. I just want to point out that introvert doesn't mean shy or socially anxious. It just means social interactions can be draining, whereas most extroverts find them invigorating. Being introverted just means you need to recharge a bit in between social things. I'm pretty classically introverted, but I'm not shy nor do I have any confidence issues. I met my girlfriend in a park during a mini road trip on my bike. I stopped to stretch my legs and saw a pretty girl eyeing me. I waved and she got all flustered, so I walked over, introduced myself, and asked if she wanted to get a drink sometime. She did, and here we are. I met my introverted husband in undergrad via a club we were both in. Then again, he's the type of introvert who is very charismatic and friendly. He just needs a recharge time, which was difficult for extroverted me to understand. My what? Magic of internet, as one can guess. Or to be slightly more specific, hang out in same pony RP for years and slowly realize it could be more. Realize we live in different continents. Didn't let that stop us. Happily married 3 years now. Okay Cupid. On the Greyhound. During my time in the army I was stationed at FT. Eustis, Virginia. On my way home, Denver, Colorado, at the time, for Christmas I saw her sitting across from and slightly behind me. Honestly, I didn't pay much attention to her at first, but my buddy, seated next to her, did. After getting shot down repeatedly for a day and a half, he finally got off the bus. Shortly thereafter she came over and sat next to me and we started talking. After that we got split up, put on different buses, and I kicked myself for not getting her number. Then, when the bus stopped in St. Louis, there she was standing right there in the entrance, almost like she was waiting for me. If my bus had arrived 15 minutes later I'd have never seen her again. Then I found out the bus to Denver was delayed due to snow, and wasn't going anywhere for at least 2 days. She hurried over to the ticket counter and had my ticket changed to Des Moines, Iowa, where she was going, so I wouldn't be trapped in St. Louis for 2 days. We spent the next 4 days getting to know each other, then I continued home. We had a long-distance relationship for about 6 months until I came home permanently, by which time she had moved to Denver and rented an apartment. We got married 3 years later and have been together 10 years total. She was volunteering at the local archive to pad her resume and I was there doing a collection assessment for them as part of my master's degree. We were at the same orientation session. I went to parties. I'm not only introverted but also have really bad social anxiety. But I did my best to put myself out there. It's true that if you're just stuck in your house all the time, then you can't just expect some girl to come to you. That's not unfair, it's simply reality and you have to go by life's rules. Of course there are exceptions, but for the most of us, we have to put in work. It's not as hard as you guys think either. There are a lot of introverted girls that go to parties, clubs, bars, school events, huge opportunity, sitting alone on their phones. And the good part is, once you've swooped the girl, you guys can both be introverted together and never be bothered to go out ever again if you really want to. Introvert BF, Tinder. His picture was him hanging upside down from a tree and his bio said proof that nerds grow on trees. We both made it clear we were looking for a relationship, met up the day we matched for coffee, hit it off, and that was that. Went on a night out in Chester, was originally not gonna go because I'm not a fan of drinking, but my best friend managed to convince me to go out. There were 6 of us, 2 couples, me and another girl. I'm really shy and find it difficult to talk to girls, so for the first few hours I didn't say a word to her. Then we moved to the next bar over. After about an hour in this bar, my best friend's girlfriend ran up the stairs and whispers something into his ear. He comes up to me and his exact words, "Listen Mike, all you have to do is talk to her. I'm not asking you to do rocket science, just fucking talk to her." So I did, and it started off small, like "How are you, where do you work?" and it ended with me losing my virginity that night. Still together after 2 months. Smile. Shit story, but oh well, thought I'd share. Deleted. I worked with her for like 6 years until she tricked me into going out with her after she got divorced. We've been married 7 years now. PLSPM tips. Lost weight, became a stud, gymmed, dressed nicely and did my hair, and then the girls started coming to talk to me. Guess I got lucky. My BF is an introvert. We started working for a company on a same day and fell in love not long after. I am spellbound and still cannot understand how this had happened, as he was not my type at a time. Freshman orientation barbecue in college. I asked her if she liked the X-Files. She did. Deleted. Was spending the summer in DC, and a buddy wanted to introduce me to his friend from college. 2 nights before I was supposed to meet her, we matched on Tinder. I knew it was her, she didn't know it was me. When we met 2 days later, it was a little awkward at first, but we quickly hit it off, and the rest is history. While I have known her for a very long time, we lost touch for a few years there while we were both in serious relationships. Never really thought about her or anything. We did have some mutual friends though, and she showed up at the brewery one day while I was having some with a few friends. Just required me to say we should get back in touch. We got on really well after that and just hung out a lot. Basically I went outside for once. We were both on a program designed to help young adults get into work, back into education, or generally help build personal skills like confidence and such. Both of us coming out of a couple years of depression, both very much introverts. During the program we became friends. She was probably one of the first female friends I'd ever had in my life up to that point. Halfway through the course, after spending weeks hanging out, she asked me if I liked her. I didn't ask because I'm even more of an introvert than her, and also when we were both in early, she was having a conversation with the program leader about same-sex relationships, which I was only half listening as I was half asleep to. All I heard was her talking about how she was attracted to another girl in the past, so I thought she was only interested in other women. But anyway, upon asking me, I was kinda confused and also nervous, so instead of saying anything I just hugged her and then we carried on walking. Wasn't till about 5 minutes later that she asked if that was a yes, and I answered with a yes. We got in trouble later on because the program doesn't allow any romantic relationships because they worry that it might interfere with our development. Eventually he decided it was okay, as he believed it would be better if we did both stay together and on the course, and it was been together 3 years 2 months now, and we're both in university. Still don't like people though. You probably shouldn't follow what I did and wait for her to ask. I got lucky in that she was slightly more confident than I was. If not, I'd probably still be alone to this day. I met my wife some 25 years ago as we would walk our dogs at the same park at similar times. A lot of perceived social baggage tends to get dumped onto the introvert tag, but while I wasn't anxious in that sense, I think it's fair to say I was a little awkward at the time. I believe simple circumstance played a big part. At a certain point we just couldn't not strike up conversations with each other. Smile. Similar interests, mutual friends. She mentioned a game she loved, so I played it so we could talk about it. Deleted. I saw a cute girl in a house party and asked her if she had been to the chocolate shop. Female introvert here who met my boyfriend on World of Warcraft. I never went on there looking for anybody, I just wanted to play, but it happened and I'm glad we met each other. He moved to my country, found a job, and I moved in with him. He's actually way more extroverted than I am. He's usually off at some party every other weekend, while I'd rather stay home. We no longer play WoW though, haha. Mostly Overwatch these days. Online through eHarmony. We've been together for over a year and a half now. Arranged by parents. Interacted often on a forum for geeks local to our state. Liked each other from afar. We met up one night to read SCP stories together in a bar. The rest is history. Found out the other day that his brother's boyfriend was the editor for the same SCP that brought us together those years ago. I don't believe in fate, but this recent discovery is giving that belief a run for its money. Boyfriend and I met on OkCupid.